Hey, my Liptons. So I wanted to come in here and finally do my Bollywood film review, Naseeb. So I know y'all are about some people in the comments about to be like, girl, how long has it been since you said that you were gonna do this review? Listen, I've been going through a lot lately. That's why I've been kind of taking a break on my YouTube channel, but I wanted to come here and give this review because I finally sat down and watched this film. So if y'all don't know, I did a poll on my TikTok as well as my YouTube channel, and I stated that, I'm thinking of these two films that I want to do a review of. One of them is Naseeb, and the other one was Bobby. 1973, I think. No, Bobby came out 1970, 1970, 1973. I'm forgetting. So Naseeb won the poll. So I decided to do Naseeb first. Of course, I'm gonna end up doing Bobby as well because I actually watched the first half of Bobby. I just gotta finish watching the last half. And there's also some other Bollywood film reviews I'm interested in putting up on my channel. They're gonna be more so Ragesh Khanna movies, so I can't wait to discuss those. But for this one, Naseeb won the poll across YouTube and on my TikTok. So yeah, I'm here to do a review. So please make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Let's get up to 900 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. I thank y'all so much for being so patient with me throughout this whole thing. And let's get into this video. So let me just say this. The reason why I was interested in doing a Naseeb film review is because I was recently going on like a whole, old is gold Bollywood movie soundtrack binge on YouTube. Like I was listening to all these old songs from different films, different amazing like iconic films within Bollywood. And I first came across the song um Mere Naseeb Mujhe Tu Hai Di. Like I came across that one and I really enjoyed that song. But then, because that was my first time listening to that song, hemamalini's item song within the movie. And then I came across John Johnny Janadan. And for some reason, like I had like a memory, like almost like a memory thing that happened with me because for some odd reason I couldn't, like it's like for some reason I thought that I've heard this song before. You know what I mean? It's something where I felt like I probably heard this song before in passing during my youth, and it's just something where it was like, whoa, I felt like I heard this song before. Where did I hear John Johnny Janadan? Where did I hear this song before? So I remember contacting my mother, and I was like, why does this song sound so familiar? Where did I hear John Johnny Janadan? And my mom basically told me, she was just like, oh, you don't remember? And I was like, no. And she was like, your dad used to play this song over and over and over again when you guys were like 2, 3 years old. Like, because my dad is an avid Bollywood fan. So it's like, I remember when this movie and the song was, because, this song was also very popular. So my dad will apparently play it around the house. When I was during my childhood. And I was like, oh, no wonder like it sounds so familiar. And I'm like, why is it taking me this long to like figure this out and figure out and connecting those dots? So I don't know, it was just like a weird coincidence, and also just like one of those childhood memories things where it's like you forget it, but then once you're confronted with it, you're just like, where did I see this before? Where did I hear this before? And plus, I didn't know it was Amitabh Bachchan that did this song. Like, it was a whole thing. So after that, I was just like, you know what? I need to go find this film. I need to go find this film, and I want to do a review. So I ended up finding this film on YouTube. The Naseeb is on YouTube. There's also English subtitles on the film. All you have to do is type in Naseeb 1981 full movie with English subtitles. It's there. It's perfect HD, clear. You can watch it there. And the cast of the film is obviously Amitabh Bachchan. Um, Let me find. How do you say his name? Rishikapoor. Shatrughan Sinha. Who are the three main male leads, and then you obviously have hemamalini as Isha, Rina Roy as Julie, and then we also had another girl. What's her name? Kim, I think. Yeah, her name was Kim, but what is her real name? I'm forgetting the character's name. Even that's how you know. That's how you know her character was not that important. It's no shade. I'm not, and I'm about to get to that too, about the women in this film. I'm like, they didn't really make no noise. Like they didn't. I wasn't too impressed with some of these people's performances. The female, I would say it was very forgettable. Let me just say that. I'm not saying like I wasn't, but it was forgettable. But yeah, but the three main leads were Rishi Kapoor, who plays Sunny, Amitabh Bachchan, who played John, and Shatrughan Sinha, who played Vicky. And honestly, too, when watching this film, I was thinking to myself, this is also really a film about the sins of the fathers, like for real. Like I was watching this film, I'm like, yo, the fathers are so messed up that these sons are out here just all over the place, scattered, not knowing what to do. This one is accused of murder. This one is it's a mess. And another part that I also felt like was who also played intricate parts within this film was Damu, who was played by Amjad Khan, um, Raghu, who is played by Kadir Khan, um, and where is he? Namdev, who's played by Pran. So those are also the three main characters. Obviously, the guy that played Juggy, um, Jagdish Raj. He was mostly in the beginning of the film, but he was the. And obviously, spoilers. If you don't want any spoilers, please don't watch this review as I keep going. But he didn't. Juggy didn't. In the beginning, his character was there, but then he was killed off. So in Naseeb, and I actually like the title of the film, Naseeb Destiny. Um, Obviously the overview about this film. Let's just get to the overview just to quickly talk about it and get for me to talk about my own opinions. But it says here a group of friends get their hands on a winning lottery ticket which destroys their friendship. Two of the friends turn on the other two, killing one and framing the other. Okay, so so obviously the two friends that kill one and frame the other. So Damu and Raghu are the ones that kill Juggy, and they frame Namdev. And Namdev is the father of John and Sunny. And Damu, who's played by Amjad Khan, is the father of Vicky, who's played by Shatrughan Sinha. Um, I will say this though, I was a bit confused because I'm like, who, like, cause like, I think Juggy. I mean, no, yeah. So I'm like, is Juggy Julie's? No, not Julie. I think Juggy is Kim's father, if I'm not mistaken. Kim and Asha, who was played by hemamalini. I'm not sure. But I was a bit confused by that because they were like, oh, anyway, I'm gonna get to it. Um, but yeah, so this is like a film of like deception, murder, framing, greed, you know, and unfortunately, the sons had to deal with the consequences of what their fathers were doing and what ended up happening. So obviously, when Juggy was killed and Namdev was framed, and Damu and Raghu tried to they actually tried to kill Namdev after they frame him. But he ends up surviving because someone saves him. Basically Damu and Raghu end up treating Juggy's kids like crap, especially John, who's played by Amitabh Bachchan. So, they make him into a waiter, which gave us the iconic song of John Johnny Janadan. Let me also say this: listening to the song, watching the video, and seeing like them bring all these famous people, like there was also many cameos within this film. You had Ragesh Khanna, you had Sharmila Tagore, you had Simi Garwal, you had Dharminder, you had Shammikapoor. Even though Shammikapoor is no, and I have to say this. Anybody find it weird that Shammikapoor was really, and I get it. That's his father, but like he was cosplaying hard as his father in this. I was just like, whoa! Like I actually thought that was Prithviraj Kapoor. I was like, wait a minute, is he still alive back in 1980, 1981? But no, I found out he was dead in the 1970s. And I'm like, who is this? And I found out it was Shami Kapoor. And I'm like, whoa, why is he out here cosplaying his father like this? Anyway, that was that. He was there. Raj Kapoor was in this film. They're saying that that's the first time Raj Kapoor and Amitabh Bachchan were ever in a film together. Even though there was no really big dialogue, it was just them dancing to the song. You also had Ranbir Kapoor in the film. So it was a really nice thing. And it obviously people would look at this and be like, oh my God, this reminds me of Om Shanti Om and that whole song. But then once you do your research, you find out that Farah Khan actually took inspiration from John Jani Janadan when it comes to like bringing so many different celebrity cameos within her film. And honestly, if you're also gonna be honest too about this and take it really back, this song, this John Johnny with all these celebrity cameos, is actually not really the first. It's not really the first Bollywood song or movie that brought all these celebrities together. I think there was another film back in the, I don't know, it was back in the 70s, or no, not 70s, back in the 60s, 50s or 60s, one of those two, where I think Dev Anand did a film and like he had a bunch of celebrity cameos too back then. It was like, I think it was around like the whole Mother India premiere thing, and you had so many. You had Nargis, you had Dilip Kumar, and so many people. So this thing has kind of been recycled throughout these Bollywood films. It's just, I think it's gonna continue. I actually think eventually in the future we're gonna get more cameos from celebrities. But the thing is, it's like, now in Bollywood, there's no A-list celebrity. We only have the nostalgia. We only have that. But in that, there's no superstar like a Shahrukhkhan, a Salman Khan, and a amirkhan in 2024 Bollywood. Unfortunately, we hate to see it. Even though they could do that, they could make it, but they just choose not to build stars anymore in Bollywood. That's a whole different conversation. But yes, so there was these amazing song that was just so amazing. Also, John Johnny Janadan was sang by a famous, amazing playback singer, Muhammad Rafi. Muhammad Rafi actually ended up passing away in 1980. So I do believe that this film was, they started filming Naseeb back in 1980, and it ended up being released in 1981. So Muhammad Rafi is one of the most amazing playback singers, amazing voice, iconic. He sang some really amazing melody songs. Usually, especially for Amitabh Bachchan during those times, Kishore Kumar will be the ones to sing these kind of songs for him. But I'm actually glad they went with Muhammad Rafi, because I felt like it flowed well, it fit Amitabh Bachchan well, and the whole song well. I just thought that it was great that they chose Muhammad Rafi, especially for the fact that he actually ended up passing away not too long afterwards. So I'm glad they chose him. So there was that song. Here's also, I'm gonna keep bringing this up. I brought this up during my Sholay. I brought this up during my Sholay review. I brought this up. Yeah, y'all should go to my Bollywood slash ZTV playlist on my YouTube channel if y'all want to watch any old reviews that I've done. But I brought this up in my Sholay review when it comes to hemamalini. Listen, I like Hemamalini. I like her as an actress. I like her as a dancer. I don't know why in the because I feel like this wasn't the case. Like when I look back in the 1950s Bollywood, 1960s Bollywood, this wasn't really a thing. But for some odd reason, this became a thing in the 1970s. Why the hell is Hema Malini wearing wigs all up and down these films? Why is Hema Malini wearing wigs? First of all, the wigs do not look good on her. Like if you look at Naseeb and you see her hair looks absolutely crazy. She looks like it's messed up. It's crooked. You can tell it's a wig. I said the same thing about it in Shole. I thought that I was like, why? I didn't understand why they were putting wigs on Indian women when Indian women already have hair. Why are y'all putting wigs on these women? Hemamani had hair back then, long, beautiful hair. Why didn't y'all just use her regular hair for her roles? I don't understand the whole like wig thing. Like, and plus, was she the only? And also, I noticed too, even though I don't think she really wore them a lot, but like doing the John Johnny Janadan song, and I was looking at the music video. Sharmila to go. I also felt like she was also wearing a wig too. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't understand this craze about putting wigs on Indian actresses when these Indian actresses already had hair. And on top of that, these wigs do not look good at all. I don't know what the trend was. I'm glad that y'all got rid of that trend. I'm glad they weren't putting wigs on Aishwarya Rai, on Kalina Kapoor, on Kajol, because they look crazy. They would have looked crazy. And these wigs, the wigs that y'all putting on these actresses back in the 1970s were insane. Y'all had no reason for putting wigs on these women. Unless they were bald-headed, then I could understand. But Hema Malini was not bald-headed. I don't know why y'all putting wigs on this woman. Anyway, apart from that, also, here's another thing too. I do have to give a little bit of criticism to Hema Malini. Because it's not just in this film, but in some of her other films. Sometimes the way that she mouths the songs, like, you know, because she's lip syncing, like all these people, you know, all these actors and actresses, they have to lip sync to, you know, the playback singer. So Hermione makes it too noticeable sometimes that she's not she's not the actual singer singing these songs. It's like you can see, like, if you look at amitabhbachchan and he's doing his John Johnny Janadan, and he's singing, it's like, even though you know that it's not him, his voice, but he's still mouthing it in a way that makes it seem like he's the one that's singing the song. You know what I mean? Like, or if you look at where to look at Sharmila to go, you know, she's mouthing it in a way where, or she's lip syncing it in a way where it looks like she's actually singing the song. Hema there's times where I feel like she's not even opening her mouth when she's singing. It's like kind of like smiling while the song is going, and I'm like, whoa, like, girl, mouth the words. Y'all need to watch it for y'all to go back and watch some of Hermione's songs, her popular song numbers. There are times where she is like, you can tell, like, I'm like, okay, there's a song that's just going in the background and she's just like smiling away, not even singing it, like just dancing. And she's an amazing dancer, by the way. But like, she has, I don't know. I think people were more comfortable with, they didn't really, I don't think it was as called out then as it would have been now in 2024 is what I will say. That's the only criticism I'll give him on me. Like, it's like when it comes to her doing her numbers, her song numbers, it's like her mouthing the song problem. So yeah, but I will say this though. I think that Hema Malini's character within this film made the more sense compared to Julie and compared to Kim, because I felt like the character of Kim and Julie, to me, they were forgettable. They were forgettable. I didn't care too much about Kim smoking in the bathroom. I didn't care too much. Even the whole Julie thing. I felt like her character just felt very unnecessary within this film, because it was like, okay, she was in love with Vicky, but Vicky's in love with Asha, and then John is in love with Asha. I felt like they honestly could have kept out Julie's character, and it's no shade to Rena Roy, but I felt like her character was kind of unnecessary for this film. I think that they could have cut that out and just made this more into a, well, focused it more, because they did focus on it, but like add a little bit more depth into the whole love triangle between Asha, Vicky, and John. To me, would have made more sense. For Kim, honestly, okay, I get it. You know, she's the sister of Asha, I guess, and they try to make that thing. But even her, she was honestly forgettable too. So I didn't really care too much about her character in that way. But you know, obviously Kim ended up with Sunny in the film, who is Rishikapoor's character. So honestly, this film was just really about, you know, each other's destinies, and you know, and you know, also finding out the truth about what really happened between John and Sunny's father, and how their father was framed for murder, and also Vicky's father. And by the way, listen, I'll say this about Damu, the character Damu played by the way, shout out to Amid Amijad Khan. I think that he played an amazing villain. Unfortunately, I think I did see an interview where Amajad Khan did want to, you know, be a little bit more versatile within his acting roles, but unfortunately, because he was quote unquote so good at playing the villain, these, you know, casting directors, these writers always gave him the role as the villain, and he's been typecast as that practically most of his career, which is unfortunate, but you know. But yeah, you know, his character in this film was not innocent. Like, he tried to, even like his death scene was like, oh, you know, Raghu, look into Raghu. Raghu's the one that killed your father, even though he had a hand in also killing, and also, not, sorry, not killing, but framing Sunny and John's dad. And I'm like, you also had a hand in it as well. You also participated, was complicit, and also planned to kill Jaggi, and also frame Namdev over the whole lottery ticket thing. So I was just like, you're not innocent. So I was glad that he died. I was like, bye. Like, I was like, bye, Damu. You won't be missed. Like, you made, like, Damu made John a waiter, didn't want to pay him or nothing, practically gave him like slave wages while he was working there at the hotel. So it was just like, bye, Damu. At least Raghu was like, you know, comfortable within his villainous. So but yeah, Raghu and Sunny and John, and as well as Raghu's sons, end up fighting it out throughout this film. And I was actually surprised to see him alive, which was really nice, and just see him clear his name. So that was really cool too. And obviously there's some twists and turns towards the end of the film, but I don't want to really spoil that. I want y'all guys to go watch it yourselves for you to create your own opinion. Just giving a little bit of spoilers, but I want y'all to watch the end of the film yourselves. But I really enjoyed this film. It really shows how much, you know, old is truly gold, and how much we really miss this kind of Bollywood content now in 2024. I would say this though, just to give some personal facts, some behind the scenes things, as I always do within these film reviews. Um, so this is actually a really good year for Amitabh Bachchan. You know, Amitabh Bachchan had, you know, 1981 was a good year for him. You know, he had Dostana, he had Naseeb. You know, Amitabh Bachchan was really on fire, I would say, during, you know, late 70s, early 80s. Like, he was doing really well for himself during this time. He was the top star. He actually surpassed Ragesh Khanna. And at that time, Ragesh Khanna was the superstar of Bollywood. So and Amitabh Bachchan ended up surpassing him when it comes to on demand. So it was good to see, you know, Amitabh was really having a great year in between 1980 and 1981. Also, I think I also mentioned this back in my Sholay review, but I want to bring it up again. But Shatrughan Sinha and Amitabh Bachchan, you know, they did Dostana together, and they did Naseeb together. Um, and you know, Shatru, he did mention how he was supposed to do Sholay or something like that, or Devinder ended up giving, you know, putting a word in for Amitabh, and Amitabh, and you know, Sholay ended up becoming like the biggest hit of all time. And Shatrughan Sinha was telling Dharminder, like, I know you did not give my role to Amitabh Bachchan. So that's why, in a way, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe that's why they had Amitabh and Shatrughan Sinha in all these films with Amitabh, because it's like, just to make up for all, just to make up for the success of Sholay. I don't know. That's just my own personal opinion, but that was really cool. Um, Rishikapoor also did really well too. I will say this: I was also more kind of in tune with John and Vicky's character than I was with Sunny, and I get it. Sunny was Amitabh's younger brother, and he was trying to help him out, and especially with the whole love triangle thing that was happening with Asha, so that was nice. But for the most part, I was more interested in John and Vicky. What? Yes. So yeah. So great year for Amitabh Bachchan. I'll also say this too, just to close out. Hemamalini, during this time, 1981, she just got married a year before, in 1980, to Dharminder, which was, I don't want to say it was expected. It was kind of expected, but at the same time, they didn't think that she was actually going to do it. But, and I talked about this in my Sholay review with her and Dharminder, but, she, like I said before, she got with a married man. She's the one that actually told Dharminder to marry her. Y'all can go back to Simi Garwal's interview where she did with Simi Garwal. She actually told Dharminder, I think it's time for you to marry me now. We've been at this for what, 10 years? Since 1970, 19... Let's just call it a thing. Let's get married, which she did, which both of them did, honestly. They used Islam to get married, because in Islam they believe in polygamy. So they used Islam for what it was, and then they ended up dropping it and converting back to Hinduism. So, I would say that, the early 80s was nice for Hemamalini too. Hemamalini got married in 1980. In 1981, 1982, she had her first child. So, it was a good year. It was also a good time for her in the early 1980s, because now there was no more of this debating. There was no more of this fighting, for, especially the pushing and pulling on all sides, especially from her parents who were against the marriage, and especially from I didn't really look into Dharminder's side of the family, especially like his parents, and what they thought about this union between him and Hemamalini, but I need to look into it. But definitely on Hemamalini's side, they were totally against this marriage. But unfortunate. Well, not unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is now. But like, they got married. It is what it is. Like, they've been married for a long time. So it was a good year for her. Yeah, like I said, I think that Amitabh is the star of these films, and this film did really well. Did well in the box office. Like, actually, they became a hit or a blockbuster. One of those two things. But a lot of cameos in this film. Amazing work. Amazing music. This is the kind of music that we miss listening to in Bollywood. I'm actually going to put up a video on on popular opinion on Arijit Singh. Most of y'all most likely not gonna like what I'm gonna have to say, but I have to say as it is. But I'm gonna have that video up later today, so make sure y'all stay tuned. But you all tell me what you guys think of my Naseeb film review. Have y'all watched Naseeb? Are y'all going to watch Naseeb? I suggest y'all do. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 900 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. If you like this video, please share it. If you want other family members to subscribe to my channel, please do. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye.